Welcome to ForFamilies Podcast. This is where we have conversations on children, on parents, for families. And when you think about it, you're either a child or a parent or both. So that means you're a member of a family. And that means this is your podcast. My name is Isabella and I'm excited to be on the show today. We have a packed episode. And if you already haven't subscribed to our channel, what are you waiting for? Hit that button now. Subscribe, tap the notification bell, and follow us across our different social media platforms and engage with us. Slide into our DM, leave comments. We're a community. And these conversations are so important. I've really been encouraged by your feedback, and just let us know, is there a particular topic you'd like for us to discuss? We're all ears. Now, today's topic is something that I've been looking forward to. If you've been following ForFamilies Podcast, you'll notice that a lot of my guests are women. And when it comes to family, we always think women. You think of family, you think of a woman nurturing or nursing her baby. But what about fathers? What about fatherhood? And there's this joke on the internet that, women, you have a whole month, International Women's Month, International Women's Day. You even have 2 different days for Mother's Day, the American one, the UK one. But when it comes to men, International Men's Day, how many of you know which day it is? When it comes to month, there's no International Men's Month, and it's only one Father's Day, right? And sometimes fathers just feel like, we are getting the short end of the stick. Our voices are not heard. We too, we have our own challenges. We want to be more involved. Sometimes it's even the women that are not letting us, carry our own weight and contribute to the family beyond provision. So fatherhood is something that I feel like we need to talk about more often. We need to hear from the fathers. And I'm really excited because we're going to be having an in-depth conversation, fatherhood like you don't know it, live and direct from my guest who has over 12 years of experience in banking. He also runs a supply chain company. He's the founder of EcoDrop Logistics. He's a father of 2 beautiful girls. He's happily married. He's someone who is interested in building society in his own way, one family at a time, contributing positively to the development of Nigeria. It's a pleasure to welcome to ForFamilies Podcast, Babajide Abiola. Welcome.
Thank you very much.
I missed the other one. Eggy.
Thank you for having me.
So,
thank you very much.
Thank you for honoring our invitation and being here. I think I should report you. He's supposed to have been on the podcast since, but you men, you're always running away. Make time in your schedule and be on the podcast. So this is an open appeal to have more male guests. Yes. So I'm really excited about it.
Yeah, Bella, thank you very much. I'm happy to be here. I'm sorry I couldn't come the last time. I was out of town, but I'll do anything for a sister. So
yes, my fellow Ondo brother Egim. If you're wondering what Egim means, it's just a way we call ourselves in Ondo town. You can be very parako. So even though now I'm from Ilaro, so I've married. I've left 2 people in Ondo to Oshun.
Really? Enjoy. But you're still our sister.
Yes. Still, yes.
Thank you very much. And well done. I watched the other episodes. You're doing a great job.
Oh,
I wish you all the best. Yeah.
Thank you. Learn from Jide. Every now and again, let us know that we're doing a good job. Good.
And I got my wife to subscribe.
Good. Well done. Mrs. Abiola, you are doing well. Mr. Abiola, you are doing well. Yes, please. When we think about fatherhood, the question I have is one that I would typically ask a mother, because when you're growing up, they will say, do like this, because when you go to your husband's house or when you have your own children, you're going to be a mother. Is this how you're going to be doing? But I wonder, as girls grow into women and dream of becoming mothers, is that the same for young boys, that they aspire to become fathers?
That's a very interesting question, because if I have to speak for myself, I think I literally had a dream about being a father even when I was in uni. I mean, if you ask my wife this, where you meet the woman and you're trying to paint, the future, because we actually met early we're both in uni together. My wife and I did it for almost 13 years. But we
Wow.
eventually got married.
This is high school. I'll be uni
This
sweetheart.
is uni. Yeah, this is uni. So it was a long one. And I remember that I used to tell her that our first child was going to be a girl. Like, I know what she looks like and everything. So I think I literally had dreams about being a father. I really wanted to be a dad. So,
wanted to be a girl dad.
A girl dad, yeah, actually, because I always said my first child was going to be a girl, actually.
So was that something that was inspired by something in your childhood? Did that come from a very personal place, or it was just like, well, I want to have a girl so that when she grows up, she'll take care of me. If it's a boy, he will leave me.
If you know high school love and the romantic thing, I used to tell her then that I like my first child to be like a girl that looks like you. You know, like another version of you. So that was where it originally stemmed up from. Then I think I'm just enjoying the fact that I have girls now. Honestly, I'm actually happy I have girls.
So you're a girl dad, and you're not looking for a boy.
Well.
Let's ask Mrs. Abiola. Because we don't know if Mrs. Abiola is ready to do that whole pregnancy thing.
You need to get Mrs. Abiola to confirm that. But right now, we've got 2 girls. We're grateful. We're happy, and we're happy with them. Yeah.
So that's high school. Now, your childhood, early years, what was your experience of fatherhood? And I say fatherhood and not necessarily a father figure, because sometimes we have stepdads, we have biological dads, we have spiritual dads, we have grandfathers. So what was your experience of fatherhood?
So I was raised by a single mom. My dad passed on early before I was born. That's why I'm Babajide. So I didn't.
For those that don't know, because Babajide is a name given to sons.
To sons when their father or their grandfather dies just before they're born. So that was what happened with me. My dad passed in February. My mom had me in March. So Babajide. So technically, I'm reincarnated, and I could be your.
I didn't see that coming.
So I didn't really have a father figure, as it were, growing up. But when I visit my friends, maybe go for like a day, 2 days, 3 days, and I see the father and the mom, I used to really want to, be a dad, because I saw something that I never, had, and I really looked forward to being a dad. In fact, I used to think to my friend like, "Oh, you're so lucky, man! Like you have this man to look up to you. You have this man to tell you what to do. You have this man to guide you." I used to tell my friends that you guys don't know what you have. Like, I really wanted to, have what they had at the time. So when, life growing up, and I am now a dad myself, I don't take it lightly. If you ask my wife, she'll tell you, Jide is a hands-on dad. I am hands-on with the girls, like absolutely hands-on with the girls. So, yeah.
We'll get to that. I think we can do with more hands-on dads. So you lacked that father figure. You didn't have your father growing up because he passed. Yeah. Did you try to find your father in other people's fathers, or in the media, or in church, the mosque?
So I think the simple answer to that is, so some of us, I don't know if it's okay to say this, some of us had to grow up in the church. So I think that was where I could find the father figure. We did a lot of church, we did a lot of, And my mom used to say a lot. There was a particular phrase that comes to mind now. She says, Okofokbo, and I'll say that in English, and Baba, Baba, which is husband to the widows and father to the fatherless. So literally, I grew up church, Bible, in that kind of environment, and that kind of defines me. Defined who I am even till now, because when I look at where I am by God's grace right now, and I look at some of my peers at the time that maybe had fathers, had people to guide them and you want to say, maybe compare achievements, so to say, or how far you've gone in life, I realized I was helped by grace. I mean, so father figure of God. Then I have an older brother who is also very focused, very very manly. I mean, so I used to look up to him for some things, right? But most of the time it was me, really. It was me.
And in finding your father in God and looking up to your brother, at any point did you desire for your mom to remarry, to maybe have a stepdad that you could call daddy?
Yes. In fact, we had the conversation growing up. I actually asked her, like, why didn't you remarry? Why didn't you? I mean, you could have. And then my mom would say things like, she really loved my dad. She didn't want to trade that for anything. And that was why she stayed. So she literally raised us by herself. Myself, my brother, and my sister, 3 of us.
And that's interesting to hear, because I know some children would tell their moms, you cannot remarry, or they are afraid that if maybe she remarries, she'll have more children.
I wanted her to. I mean, I would not have minded. I mean, Mom, if you are seeing this,
Mommy, you can't marry.
I wanted you to.
You did not hold her back.
No. You wanted. I mean, I wanted you to. And this is for people that I don't know. People might be in that kind of situation right now, and they might be thinking, "Oh, is it a good thing to do? Are you worried about your kids?" I think if I was going to talk to you from my experience, I would have said, please go ahead. I mean, if you want to, I think it's fine. We'll be fine.
I want to imagine, like, if you were maybe a teenager, did you try to do any matchmaking? Like, mommy, but they're fine, no, uncle,
Some people, there will be someone that will come and say hello to her and will be asking her, mommy, who is this person? What's going on? But she just never did it. I don't know. She still refers to my dad till now as MD, my dear. Literally. Wow. I mean, the bond must have been very, very strong between them. It must have been very, very strong between them. Yeah. Till date. So anytime she talks about my dad, he's MD, my dear.
Wow. But it's good that, she took you to a safe space. So in this case was the church, for you to be able to find, if not a biological father, but a spiritual father, and ultimately God, like that proverb you said, because there is a place for fatherhood in the family. Now, I want to fast forward to you getting married. Did you in any way prepare for the journey of fatherhood?
So, getting married, so funny to say this. I think we got married in December. By January, my wife was pregnant. So
okay.
So talking about preparing, as it were. I mean, I was working. I had a 9 to 5. My wife was working. She had a 9 to 5. We felt like we had a comfortable environment, ready to raise kids in. So, I mean, when we got married, we knew it was the next thing. I mean, don't forget we had dated for about 13 years together. So it was something that it was the next natural thing, to happen. So in terms of maybe taking time to actually prepare, maybe I bought books.
Okay.
Yeah, I bought books. I remember buying books, and I was trying to, educate myself on what to expect. And yeah, I think
that's interesting. Buying books, because when you want to become, say, a doctor, you go to school and you learn to become a doctor. But I find that when we want to become parents, we don't approach it that way. But knowing that you bought books, would you say that the theory met the practical? Like what you read in the books is what you found to be true, or the books didn't quite prepare you?
Not necessarily. They didn't quite prepare me. Because, so I think naturally, you just grow with it, and it grows on you. The books was more like, kind of like prepare you for the journey, But when it came to like practical, it simply grows on you.
So you learn on the
it
job.
it goes on you. You learn on the job. It goes on you. It goes on you. I mean, I remember the first time I mean, the books won't tell you this is how you carry your child the first time.
Yes.
Do you understand? I remember the first time I carried our first child, Kiki. I have a video of it, and I still watch the videos, and I was just filled with a lot of emotions on that particular day because Dami had moved to the US a couple of weeks to delivery, so that she could, give birth to her in the US. I was on the flights to the US. I was like maybe 6 hours, and before I landed, she had given birth.
Oh, so you missed out on the birth. And
birth.
I'm sure you wanted.
I wanted to be there.
Oh.
So by the time I landed, what I just got was messages of pictures and everything that she was holding on, she was waiting, but so I missed that. So by the time I, walked in on the hospital, the baby was already there. But then life gave me a second chance because when we had the younger son, I was in the room with her in the labor room.
What was that like?
I saw all the process. Damn, it was emotional. Yeah, it was very, very emotional. Seeing her go through the pain and seeing the little baby just pop out. I was there. It was. Man, it's an experience I think every father should experience, honestly speaking. Because sometimes when I think about how I am with the girls, right? I'll remember someone saying that any man that actually goes into the labor room and have that experience with his wife when that is going on, you will not be able to help it. It will just grow on you. It will just become a part of you. So maybe thinking about it now, maybe that might have influenced the way I kind of my style of fatherhood, because I am, like I said, very hands-on. I am very in tune with the girls. I am very present. I am always around. Because of work, sometimes I'm out of town, but there are things I don't miss. In the morning, we're going to do video calls. In the evenings, we're going to do video calls. They're going to tell me about their day. We are like that. Right?
Did you ever get discouraged by a man or a woman, someone elderly, that don't go into the labor room, or you're not meant to see certain things, so you just wait outside?
Maybe I didn't. I think it's the first time I'm talking. I don't really talk about. This is the first time I'm actually saying this.
So you just decided you wanted to be there for your wife. You wanted to experience it all.
Yeah. I wanted to be there.
I think it's important that more men are in the delivery room. My husband was there with me for my 2 children, and both births were different. And you just appreciate how, if you're a person of faith like I am, how it's really God that helps you in that delivery room, because anything can go wrong. And you're literally like, it's you and God, really. But it's also such a work of, like, it's a miracle. Like, how can a baby come out? And so it's definitely one that will endear you, I hope, to your spouse and make you appreciate the sacrifice.
It is. And I mean, if people have the opportunity to, and you're considering should I be in that room or not, I would advise you to, go
See,
in there.
it's another man
Go
that is
in there.
telling you, right?
Go in there, bro. Go in there.
Cut the umbilical cord, and
go in there.
hold her hand and encourage her. So childbirth, you now have 2 girls. What has been the biggest shock to you? Like, nothing ever prepared me for this aspect of fatherhood, and what have you learned from it?
You know how this generation of kids can be very vocal and they can say that's because they just say something and I'm like, I'll ask my wife, like, where did that come from? Like, who's talking? So sometimes it's the things they say, it's the things that they do.
Give us an example.
All right, so I will say one right now. I'm on intermittent fasting, and I think I've shed some weight. If you've seen me recently, I've seen me now. And the biggest motivation for that is for my 4-year-old. Kashakwe goes, Dad, you're not even strong.
Hey.
I like you to have 6 packs. I'm like, ow! In my mind, I'm like, ow! So this is me all these years. I've not had enough motivation to stay fit, to stay healthy. And then your 4 years old is telling you, Dad, you're not even, Dad, you're fat. You remember, I'm like, oh, really? Really? Okay, don't worry. I'm going to share that fat. So, yeah, things like that. And, nobody prepares you for things like that. You're not going to read any book that's going to tell you to be prepared for things like that. So, it just comes, it happens, it grows on you, and then you have to grow with it. So, things like that is really very interesting, especially with Kasha. She's going to be 5 though. She's just very interesting, very vocal, very confident. Yeah. Then the older sister, Koisola, that one was just daddy's girl all the way. That was daddy's girl all the way.
So you are strong to her.
To both of them.
And you are not fat. So she's not challenging you.
So it was her sister that started that fat thing. So she just backs it and said, yeah, daddy, you need to be fit, you need to exercise more. No, they actually literally tell me, there are times that they actually wake me up and say, Daddy, are you not going to go to run? Are you not going to go to the gym? These are your kids telling you. And that's another thing about parenting that I've learned and I'm still learning. It's that you think you're the one parenting them. But in a way, they're also teaching you. So many times I'm learning. Like, I'm literally parenting myself so that I can parent them. Do you understand? Like, the other day, like I said, I'm hands-on. I was helping Kiki with her homework, and then she was taking a bit of time, right, for her to get the concept that I was trying to teach her. It was a mathematical class that I was teaching her, and I was going to, get angry and scold her, but I just had to take a breath. I had to think. I had to be patient. In the moment, I'm like, should I calm down? And sometimes Counselor will be like that. It counts from 4 to 1, so you can catch your breath.
Oh, wow.
So, okay, usually calm down. So I'm calm. Then I try to explain to her again. And now she gets it. And I'm happy and she's happy. And the experience is rewarding for both of us. So you think you're parenting them, but sometimes you're actually parenting yourself because they are teaching you. They are teaching you, and it's really... Nothing prepares you for that kind of experience. Nothing prepares you for it.
No, this generation, definitely, they say it as it is, and maybe even make you ask yourself those deep questions like, why am I actually shouting? Like, what am I going to achieve? I need to calm down so that I can be, like you said, a rewarding experience for both of you. So, fatherhood comes at a cost. Yeah. You have to make out time. You have to be intentional. You have to watch yourself. In this case, you have to go to the gym and run. But how has it affected your marriage?
So in terms of affecting the marriage, maybe because we have girls, it's made me a lot more softer than I'd have loved to. Because sometimes I see some guys and they're tough and they're all masculine and strong and, say yes, and everybody, daddy's home and everybody's running there to scatter, those kind of things. I hear that, and it makes you, when you think about those kind of fathers, it makes you think like, oh, they are powerful dads, right? I'm not like that with my kids. When I'm home, they're happy that I'm home. Sometimes they are literally trying to come and open the gate. They're trying to run out. They're trying to come and embrace you. Daddy's home. They're happy that daddy's home. And that kind of extends to the wife. It extends to the home. It extends to everybody, the nanny, the driver, the housekeeper. It just kind of, it radiates, right? So if there's anything that they've done, they've even given the marriage more peace. They've given the marriage more love. They've given the marriage much more stability. They've given the marriage much more, compassion, even from the wife. And between both of us, understanding. You can't misbehave. You can't lose your cool. So when I had when I had my first, I was talking to a mentor at work, my boss at the time. I was like, Jide, you had girls. He said, that's good. Then he goes, you don't know what you have. I'm like, what are you talking about? He said, see, you don't know what you have. If I try to explain it to you, you won't understand it. You can only experience it. If I had the opportunity to sit with my boss right now, I'd be like, Oga, now I get it. Like, I see what exactly you're trying to say. And unfortunately, I'm a girl dad, so I don't know what a boy's dad would say. I don't know what the experience is going to be. I don't know. But I can only speak from my experience. And that's, if they've done nothing else, they've been able to bring about that compassion, that love, that understanding, that coolness. They've been able to allow that to radiate in the house. And when they are not around, the whole house is just quiet. Like, where are these girls? Yeah, so yeah, that's what I would say. They've impacted the marriage
in a positive way, because sometimes people have children and they get so bogged down with providing care for their kids that they lose sight of the marriage. There's not enough time for date nights, for rekindling the marriage. How have you been able to navigate that?
Date nights, rekindling the marriage. My wife she's a lawyer, she's calm, I'm more of the outgoing, I'm more extrovert, right? And Dami's example of a good time is, let's just stay in the house.
Oh wow! Okay. If you ask her,
what's define quality time? Quality time is just, let's just chill, let's just gist, let's just talk, So with that, we do that almost every other time, right? But there are days I'm like, okay, today we're going to go out. But today we're going to go out. We're just going to go out. Okay, let me just take you out. Let's go to a restaurant. Let's just go out. Let's travel together, right? And one of the things that stabilizes us, both of us, after the hustle and bustle of life through the year, we always try to make sure we go on vacation where we leave everything behind and then take about 3 weeks away and you just cool off, forget it all, and come back and face it. So again, we've been blessed because the girls that we have, the marriage, they've really helped. It's been a lot of joy, yeah.
That's good, that you still prioritize the marriage, because a lot of times you can just easily lose sight and understanding what works for your partner. So if you're sitting at home and doing quality time, that is also good. There's no need to go and do the one they did not ask you to. But looking back now, are there things you would do differently? Is there a different approach you would take, either to the marriage or to raising your girls?
To raising the girls. I'm still pretty new at this.
Pretty new? You have 2 girls.
I have 2 girls, and Koisola she's going to be 7. I feel like I'm still pretty new.
Wow. Okay, what do you want me to say? I have 2 and 3.
well, so I feel like I feel like we need to prepare for the days ahead.
Okay.
Right? That's how I feel right now.
And how are you doing that?
Yeah, preparing for the days ahead, because you have girls, and I was saying to someone, like, one of the reasons why I really love going to church is because, especially when now we're thinking about preparing for the days ahead, there's a factor. When the Bible says, train up a child in the way that it should go, so when they go, they don't depart from it.
Yes.
Right? So one of the ways I feel like we're preparing for the days ahead is to start teaching them the concept of God. It's again, I can only speak for myself. Other people might have their methods. I can only speak for myself. So now we have conversations in the house right now about things about. So Quensla goes, no, the younger sister goes, God is in my heart, right? So I have to be a good girl. No, she's trying to understand that concept, and it's just interesting to see your little girl say things like that, trying to understand the concept of God. They ask you questions that the devil is they differentiate. Does it when I do bad things? Is it the devil that makes me do bad things? Things like that. So, like I said, right now I feel like we're pretty young. I think that the more challenging days are ahead when they start getting to when they start becoming teenagers and stuff. I feel like we just need to make sure that right now we give them the right foundation, so that when you get to that future, you've been able to nurture them and you've been able to give them the best. You've been able, and I encourage my girls to talk to me. I asked someone earlier today, like, how do you react when a 4-year-old tells you, I have a crush? How do you react to that? So Cash goes, I'm sorry, Cash. Maybe someday you're going to hear this. I'm not exposing our gist, but I'm just trying to tell my friend something here, Cash. So she goes, Daddy, I have a crush. I'm like, you have a crush? I'm thinking, okay, what should I do? I should encourage her. Daddy, I have a crush. Okay, tell me about this crush. Is this, is that? Is brilliant, is the smartest boy in class, is this, is that? Okay. So how are you sure you have a crush? Tell me, what is a crush? A crush is where you like somebody. A crush is when you like somebody and now somebody likes you. Okay, so you like him. I say, okay, that's fine. So that was good. I go, it's okay that you guys are friends, right? It's fine that you are friends. It's fine that you school. But in my head, there's a storm going on, and I'm just trying to be calm on the outside, because it would have been easier to say, no, what do you mean? You should not. But I didn't do that. So, like, I wish maybe someone would probably comment on the comment section later and say, oh, this is what you should have done. I don't know. The only thing I could do was just to play it calm and allow her to talk and everything. And I tried to guide her a bit towards my direction and go, remember, she's just 4, right? And then she's saying this. I'm like, okay, that's fine. Prepare them. Before I even had my kids, I've always said that I want to be the person that they can talk to. I want to be the person that they can tell just about anything. And there's no way you can be that person if they don't see you as a safe space, someone that they can come to and they feel safe around you and they can tell you just about anything. So that is what I would really like for them when they grow up. I would really like that. The other day, I saw Kiki, remember, I was just praying. It was my praying session, and then she walked into my room and I was just praying that, God, thank you for this. I'd like to be there for her when she's 30. I like to be there for her when she's 35, when she's 40. I like to be there for her when she's my age, where she can tell me, oh, I'm having this situation, I'm having that situation. It's my biggest prayer point right now, like making sure that in that future, I am there for them. They're proud of me. Like I said earlier, you think you're parenting them, but at the end, you are even parenting yourself, because you're really looking at the future and you want them to be proud of you in the future. So you're even it's affecting how you're doing business. It's affecting the decisions that you're making. It's affecting your lifestyle. You don't want them to wake up someday and hear this about you. It's a lot. Really, it's a lot. And the only thing you can do is take it one day at a time, so you're not overwhelmed, right? And then just love them.
Yeah, love them and be that safe space. A lot of times and you said this earlier, we associate fatherhood or fathers with this strict figure that everybody should be afraid of and run away. But this is different. Do you ever feel that being a hands-on dad somehow emasculates you when you see a typical traditional dad?
If I'm being honest, sometimes you feel that way. There's always this temptation to be fire and thunder. It's
Yeah,
always
macho.
Yeah, there's always this temptation. So what I do is that I let it out sometimes. Sometimes I let it out. My wife can scold the girls and they'll just be cool. So sometimes she needs to resort to, a little bit of spanking. My mind, I'm like, and when she spanks, I'm angry. Like, dinner. Can't you just talk to these girls? They're going to listen to you. Right? I hardly have to spank. But when I scold, they cry. Like, these girls, though, they don't even want... So one of the things, the control method in the house, as it were, sometimes is, Counselor, you don't want daddy to be angry at you. And that alone can control behavior. Because she's so used to having this man's love. She's so used to having this man on our side. So the control is, or the measurement for correcting a behavior sometimes is, I don't want daddy to be angry at me. I want to do better because I want daddy to be happy with me. So at the end of the day, when a man is like screaming and shouting, what we are typically trying to achieve is a sense of control. Like, I'm around and you want everything to be in control. And we feel masculinity is how you establish that control. And that could work. You're creating fear. And that could also give you the kind of result that you're hoping for. But you might have a bit of a negative offshoot somewhere that you might not know. On my own path, I've chosen to be loving, to be hands-on. And when I need to, scold, which I do, not very often, but when I do it, I see everybody's calm. I see that you see that control that you want, you actually still get it. So I think it's just style and method and maybe even personality. I can only speak for myself. Everybody else might have their own methods and their own style. But this is what I've used, even with my wife, right? I hardly scream. I hardly feel the need to shout. I'll just talk to you, then I'll listen. I try to understand you. And my wife is a lawyer. There was a time I was talking to a friend of mine, and then he was like, I can never marry a lawyer. I said, why? How can you marry a lawyer? The lawyers are built to always want to win. Lawyers want to, so she's going to be strongly opinionated. She's going to be, never. My mind, I'm like, when he was done, and I go, my wife is a lawyer. He said, are you going to lead her? She's a lawyer. I said, we talk. We try to find understanding. Right? We try to see it our way, then see it my way. And then can we find a third way where we can both, align? It's not always like that, I'll be honest. There will be times that there will be that middle way we'll both not agree. But eventually we'll come around. I would come around or she's going to come around. But one day at a time.
As I was listening to you, I couldn't help but just think, like, how important is it to you to model the kind of husband that you want your girls to one day marry, should they decide? The kind of father that you want your girls to, their husband, to be to their children if they should decide to start families?
Okay, one of the models I'm going to talk about, I'll go back to, so one of the things that I do a lot, I listen to a lot of podcasts, and it's good. I'm in a podcast for the first time. Yes, so it's good. There's a guy that I listen to, the KB show. I can't really remember his name now. The guy said he's in his 50s and he's very jacked, like built and everything. And it was like his motivation for staying fit was because the day his girls are going to bring in a guy, he doesn't want to look like a frail, weak father. Do you understand? So one of the reasons that keeps him on his feet is to make sure that when that day comes, right, he's seen as the father, the alpha, even in this family. Because that can even breed respect with whoever the guy is going to be. So when I think about them in the future, I mean, okay, this morning I've done about 30 minutes on the treadmill. I've pushed some metals, I'm doing my intermittent fast. I'm trying to stay fit. It's all for the future. So the day they come, the day the guy comes, And he sees that, okay, this is a father that I can respect. This is a father that I can also look up to, right? So that is the kind of father that I need to model. Health, fitness, finance.
What about when you say you're hands-on? Does it mean you do chores? You wash the plates, you clean the house, you make hair, things that are traditionally a woman's job?
I have a video of me making Kiki's hair when she was 2. I still have that video, and she still loves that video till today. Daddy, what were you doing? Were you making my hair? She loves things like that. But the beauty of living in Nigeria right now, maybe one of the reasons why I still enjoy living in Nigeria, is that you have help around. So some things might not necessarily get to you, if I'm being honest. We have the house staff and everything. So some things don't get to you. But when we go on vacations.
So when you go on
When you go on vacation,
are you washing the plates?
I am washing the
Are
plates.
you sweeping the floor?
I am doing all of that.
So basically, you're the nanny.
I am doing all of that when we go on vacation because, and this is for people that live abroad. I'm sure they might. When I talk to a lot of my friends that have relocated, it feels like that's what people need to do when they're out there. When you are in Nigeria, some things are smooth and easy. But sometimes we're in the UK, bro, you've got to do it. You've got to do it. You've got to do the house cleaning. You've got to birth the girls. And the truth is that I actually enjoy doing it. That's me. I love to do it. Now the girls are in the head. Now I tell them, okay, girls, you need to start learning how to do your chores. Then I give house points for them doing chores. I give house points. Okay, who's going to clean the playpen? Who's going to take, and I give them points. And they fight for it. That I just did this. I did that. And then they get house points. And then the house point transfer into money transfer into toy or whatever it is, or they save. So all of these are things I'm trying to make sure that they're learning. So you hand the money, they have a box where they keep some of the money and where they can spend. So just trying to teach all of this and make sure you're creating a whole human being. I used to believe that if I had a dad, there's some decisions that I made that I would not have made them if I had a father to tell me, okay, son, no, I don't think you should do this.
So you want to be that dad to your daughters. And my final question would be, in your experience, even though you say it's limited, but trust me, 7 years of being a dad is, if you believe in like faith and Christianity, they'll say, 7 is the number of completion. So 7 is a number of years. What will you say is the biggest lesson fatherhood has taught you? And that lesson, how can you apply it in your everyday life? Because there are people who are watching and they're thinking, okay, this fatherhood thing, maybe I need to rethink, or what can I do to prepare? I'm not sure how to go about it. So just share that.
Patience. It's simple. I don't even have to think too far. Patience. Because you can't even rush the growth of the girls. I mean, you can't rush the growth of the kids. They're going to grow every day. Patience. There's no gaga to it. There's no force to it. It's just life. The sun is going to rise. It's going to go down. The moon is going to come. The plants are going to grow. There's no force to it. There's no fight in it. Patience. Every day. And patience it sounds so subtle, but it's not, because we want a lot of things and we want it now.
Yeah.
It doesn't work that way. Even in business, I'm beginning to learn patience. In marriage, patience. In parenting, patience. For me, it's the biggest virtue. That's, I don't know if people have come to that realization. Well, for me, that's what it's going to be. Be patient. Be patient with yourself. Even with yourself, be patient. Be patient with your spouse. Be patient with the kids. Be patient with life. Every good thing is going to come. So far you're doing your best. You're working. You're not lazy. Because that's one thing so I have a circle of friends and we talk every day about life and everything. And like I said, I have friends that are also fathers and we talk. And they have their methods, they have their styles, and sometimes they have opinions about what I'm doing. And I have opinions about what they're doing. But it's not like we compare notes, but men. Before, maybe when we were younger, the conversations were different, but now that we are fathers, the conversation is a lot about also family, wife, children, how you're raising, how you're dealing with situations and stuff. Everybody says one thing about me. They know that I'm very patient. Even they know I'm calm, I'm gentle. But it's not weakness, right? That was one of the conflict I had to deal with. I used to think that being patient made you weak. But I don't think it's weakness. I think it's actually strength. I think it is. And we're learning. Maybe when I come back on the show, I might have a different opinion.
No, I think that's as I was listening to you and I started thinking, the Bible says love is patient. That's the first quality. So can you really say you love your children or you love your spouse or you love your family members if you're not patient with them? And I think that's such a great way to end this interview on a reflective mode where we are patient with each other. So even to the wives out there, be patient with your husbands and be patient with your children. And very importantly, be patient with yourself, because we put so much pressure on ourselves and sometimes we just need to be still and enjoy that phase. Like you said, as surely as the sun rises, it will set and they will grow up. So yes, thank you so much, Babajide. It's been a great conversation. I'm glad you finally came. Was I patient?
You were patient. So you called me again. I'm like, I'm going to make it. Thank you very much for having me. I really enjoyed it. I like what you're doing. I'm sure I'm one of your favorite fans. I've watched you from DSTV, Africa Literati.
Political.
Yeah, so it's just been fun watching. I'm happy that I'm on your set today.
Thank you so much. Maybe we'll bring the girls at some point, because I do want to have kids, because we say ForFamilies Podcast is children, parents.
And I'm sure they will say some interesting things.
I'm sure they will. We like that.
Interesting things. Thank you
all
very
right
much,
then. Thank you so much.
All right, thanks for having me. Bye.
Welcome to the part where I tell you what I'm loving. Yes, I put you on to the good stuff. What am I loving now? I'm loving my green finger era. Yes, I love to plant things. So are there any plant daddies out there? Plant mommies, plant babies, plant girls, plant boys? Well, I love to grow things, particularly the ones I would like to eat, or the ones I can eat or I can cook with. So herbs, vegetables, fruits. I love to grow plants like that. I have like a mini farm. And see, even if you don't have like a vegetable patch and all you have is just concrete or cement, you can buy plants. You can buy these plant pots. You can have bags where you grow things in. You can recycle that old tin, that old bottle, and just start growing. So don't let space be an issue, or the fact that you don't have like a garden. You can make it work. I'm growing a pawpaw tree in a pot, and that's because I went to my friend's house and I saw like an actual grown pawpaw tree in a pot. And this is not even a dwarf pawpaw tree. It is like a normal pawpaw tree. So this is me encouraging you that you can grow so much in pots, in bottles, in bags. My husband, on the other hand, loves to grow plants or get plants and tend to the plants, nurture them. He loves flowers, so ornamental plants, the ones that beautify the environment, plants, trees, flowers, that sort of thing. He loves that. So I guess is to see where the kids eventually, which path they took. I get them to water the plants in the little vegetable, will I say garden? I mean, it's made up of pots and little tidbits here and there. But I get them to water the plants, and I think it's a good chore. It doesn't involve a screen. It gets them working. They're burning calories. You're explaining things to them. And I think it's one thing that you can get your children involved in. Even school will even force you, because these days they will say, oh, go and plant something, water it, be bringing it to school, observe it. So kudos to the schools who do that. Let's make our Greek fun again now. Why should it be that subject that like being a farmer can be cool, even if it's just your little garden that you have. So that's what I'm loving now. I hope to spend more time, growing more things. Sometimes I'll travel and I want to get a plant from there, or I experiment. Are you also green finger? Do you have green hands? What do you like? The herbs, the fruits, the vegetables, or are you more like the plants for beauty? So the ornamental plants and the trees. I want to know, what should I be growing that I'm not already growing that will do well in a bag or in a bottle or in a pot? Let me know. And it's a great way to recycle. Yeah, very important. So you, instead of just thinking of throwing something away, I sometimes think, oh, how can I put some soil and convert it into a container for growing? And so far so good. We have like bits and bobs here, an assortment of pots. So don't let that be your excuse that pots are so expensive. Okay, use your old bottle, right? And I wish you the best with your planting journey. But that's what I'm loving now. This is the part where I answer your burning question. But sometimes I have questions of my own and I try my best to answer them. And I do that so that I can also get your comments, because we are a community and I don't have all the answers and my best might still not be good enough. So let's help each other. So today's question is one I've had to ask myself at several times, which is, how can I be more present as a parent? We know how busy we are with our work, our hobbies, our commitments to church, mosque, religious organizations, or commitments to our society, clubs we belong to, associations we belong to, things we are signed up to volunteer for. There are 101 things. I've not even mentioned social media, podcasts, TV shows, radio shows. So many things are fighting for our attention, including our children. Our children want us to be there for them. Our spouses want us to be there for them. Sometimes I'll be speaking and my husband will say, wait, like, I need you to finish what you're saying on the phone. And I'll literally put my phone aside, because when you think about it, that message can wait. And if it cannot wait, is it not better for me to say, okay, please let me just finish answering this message, and I put it aside and give him my full attention? So how can I be more present as a spouse and as a parent? I think it is to sometimes not multitask. So maybe that time that you're on the phone, be on the phone. But you see, that time that you decide that you want to be in a conversation with someone, give them your full attention. It could be your spouse, it could be your children. Like, there are times when I need to quickly finish something and I explain to my son, I'll say, look, I'll play Lego with you, but let me finish with my phone, or let me finish with my laptop. Sometimes it's hard for him. I'll say, please just come back. We'll come back 2 seconds later. So I'm thinking maybe sometimes I should just maybe go away, and that way the temptation is not there. But at the same time, I also want to be within his space or her space, my daughter. So it's a hard one, and it's something that I'm still learning. Like, sometimes I just have to say, you know what, that email is going to wait, that post is going to wait, that conversation is going to wait, but let me, even if I'm carving out 5 minutes or 10 minutes or 15 minutes and I drop my phone, sometimes it is just going out with the kids to play, get fresh air, and I don't carry my phone, except maybe I want to take pictures. But sometimes even that, I leave it, so that I'm forced to just give them my full attention. I'm engaging them. I'm asking questions. I'm holding their hands. We're running around. We're looking at the tree and the sky. And other times, it could be a case of like engaged play. So I'll say, okay, go and bring your Lego. And then all I'm doing is playing with him with the Lego. Or my daughter, I'm just hugging her, holding her, asking her about her friends, about her teacher, about school. And you can see that there's no distraction. I'm not watching a film. I'm not listening to something in my ears. I'm not pressing a device. And I think that children appreciate that. So it's about finding pockets of time. And the times when we're very busy, I think I will start, if I know I'm not going to be able to give them my full and undivided attention, I'll just leave that area so that they don't come back every 2 seconds. And I'll keep saying, oh, wait. Let mommy just finish this thing she's doing. I think that's one thing I'm going to do. Another thing I'm thinking of is to see how I can get them involved in some activities. So I'm thinking that we might do some like puzzles during the holiday, like a giant puzzle. I'm also thinking that I should get them to maybe make a recipe together. So even if it's just cracking the eggs and, you know, stirring the flour and the eggs and the milk, and then I'll be the one to pour it inside the frying pan, and then we make pancake. I'm just thinking, okay, what are other activities I need to do throughout the day, and how can I bring them on board so that that also counts as time that we've spent together, we're interacting, we're doing things, we're talking. So when we're at the traffic lights going to school, I like to count down the numbers. So if it's at 30, 30, 29, 28, I try and get my son to join in. My daughter joins in towards the end, and that's a good one. Sometimes it's about saying, oh, what are the things you can see, things that are the color red, or the things that color yellow, or I'll say, oh, what color is that bus, or what color is that sign, what letter is there. So again, if you follow your kids or you do school runs, how can you maximize that and make it a time where you are intentionally engaging with them? So those are just some of my ideas. What has worked for you? Please hit me up in the comment section. I would love to learn from you so that I can spend more time and be more intentional when I'm engaging with them. Wow, I really enjoyed today's conversation. I say that all the time, but that's because we have the best guests and we discuss the best topics here on ForFamilies Podcast. So if you aren't already subscribing, this is your cue to subscribe, to tell a friend, to share the link, to tap the notification bell so that you don't miss out on any episode, and to just connect with us in the DM and in the comments. I always love it when I have male guests, because a lot of times when we think family, we think women, and the media doesn't help because everything falls on the woman's head. But how can you get men into the conversation if you don't give them a platform to speak? So ForFamilies Podcast is not a woman's podcast, it's not a man's podcast, it's a family podcast. And in every family, in most families, not every, but in most families, you have a man and a woman, you have a boy or a girl. So it's important that we have these conversations. And today we got to discuss fatherhood. We heard from a father of two girls, Babajide Abiola, and he just shared his experience, his expectations. He grew up without a father. His father had died before he was born, but he was able to find a father in God, in the church, and he's been able to do some of the things he wished he had while growing up, like be there for his kids. So this is a must-watch episode, really, because I think we need to have, the side of the mother, but also of the father. And what I'm loving now, definitely, growing things, getting the kids involved. I like to grow things I can eat or cook with. My husband loves to grow things that will beautify the environment, and we're plant people. So the kids joined me in watering, and it's also a great way to recycle things. So an old bottle becomes a container to plant something in. And then, of course, the burning question, how can we be there for our children, our spouses, give them our undivided attention, be intentional, not always be so distracted. You're listening to one thing in your ear, you're pressing phone, you're following up a conversation. So I shared ways that I've been more intentional as a parent in engaging my kids and my husband. And I'd love to hear from you, really, about not just this episode, past episodes and future episodes. What do you want to see on ForFamilies Podcast? Hit us up in the comments, slide into the DM. And yes, you never know. That thing you say, it could just end up here, right? My name is Isabella Adediji. I've had an amazing time, as always, here on ForFamilies Podcast. See you next time. Bye.